couple of weeks ago, we saw Daniel Dubois stop Anthony Joshua emphatically inside 5 rounds. What was your take on the fight, Bob?
Didn't surprise me. Dubois started out as a house of fire in his professional career, and then he sort of seemed to lose interest. I mean, he looked terrible in the Joyce fight, but he always had the talent. And I go back to his fight with Usyk when, from what I saw, I was watching on television. From what I saw, Dubois knocked Usyk out. I don't think that was a low blow. It was right on the belt line. And if it was on the belt line, Usyk couldn't have got up in 10 seconds, couldn't get up in 30 seconds, couldn't get up in a minute, and Dubois would have been the champion. So, I was always high on Dubois, and I've never been high on Joshua. Seems like a nice fellow, but I didn't ever think he was a great fighter, particularly after the Andy Ruiz fight. So, again, it didn't surprise me.
And those are the words of Bob Arum, as he does not rate AJ. He hasn't. He never thought he was great or a good fighter or anything of the sort. And let me counterpunch. Bob Arum has never looked at AJ the same since he got beat by Andy Ruiz, as he mentioned. And for the record, that's a chain of command, because if you look at one fighter that is an underachiever or you don't rate him highly, how are you going to rate another fighter that he beat highly? Okay, that's just it. And Bob Arum, he has no pony in the show. Neither does he have any interest in AJ, and he shouldn't, because the guy that he once upon a time showed interest in beat Anthony Joshua, which, he didn't show interest in Andy Ruiz for after the Joseph Parker fight. So he really didn't care at that point. He didn't care about the Joseph Parker fight. He didn't care about Andy Ruiz after that. It didn't really bother him whatsoever. It didn't really matter, because at the end of the day, Bob Arum looked at Andy Ruiz as HIT, period. So if the HIT that he viewed Andy Ruiz did that to Anthony Joshua, what do you think Anthony Joshua is? Exactly. So, him saying that, with Danny Dubois, he's ranked high. But if you notice, he did not bring up the Joe Joyce fight. He just brought up the whole, hey, Usyk low blow or borderline belt controversy, which I think he's following a narrative based on the fact that he does also co-promote Tyson Fury. Okay, and he can't stand Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn's fighter is who? Anthony Joshua. Did Anthony Joshua show us that he might have missed a step or two, or some stuff that he definitely needs to work on? Absolutely. But to not rate or rank AJ, I think is just downright disrespectful. But at this point, I think AJ is going to get whatever AJ is going to get from critics, including hard critics like Bob Arum. Okay, because Bob Arum has every reason not to rate, to rank, or to big up Anthony Joshua at all. Okay, so you guys tell me what you think of Bob Arum not even ranking or rating Anthony Joshua. He never was a great fighter. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.